Good evening, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Sunday evening? I am your host, Peter Brown, and it's Sunday night, so that means it's time for FMTV. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining. We got a few things to talk about. Youth movement. These kids are all right. So we're going to talk some about the youth movement. We could talk a little bit about the U.S. men's national team if you want. But lots to talk about. Season's just around the corner, so let's get going. Let's say hello to everybody's favorite uncle. Let's say hi to Uncle Ed. Say hi, Ed. Ed. Where's Ed? Oh, man. No Ed. Guess you're just stuck with me. Yeah, I'm just joking. Ed is busy tonight, so can't do it. So you are stuck with me, which means one thing, really. I'm going to lean on you guys in the chat. So lots of chat talking tonight. So let's get active in the chat because I'm going to use you guys, and we're gonna use what's going on in the chat to help drive the show. What you guys want to talk about is kind of where we will go. Plus, of course, we have voicemail. We have one voicemail so far, but I will show the phone number for the voicemail in just 1 minute because we do have some business to get to. So I had a great conversation yesterday with our buddies at Caneswear. I had a great conversation with Caneswear. Oops, wrong transition. There we go. I had a great conversation with our friends at Caneswear. Caneswear is back on board for another year, which is great news here for FMTV. They're a great sponsor. And part of the conversation really was just things that we want to do together. So we will look for a shopping video. I did a shopping video there a couple of years ago. I'm going to do another one. Ed and I are going to go to the store and do some things at the store, and we may even do a live broadcast from the store. Now, if we do a live broadcast, it probably won't be on Sunday at 7 p.m. because they're not open on Sundays at 7 p.m., but it'll be at an earlier time. But so look forward to that sometime in the next month or two. But I do know that they have ordered a ton of Inter Miami gear. So go to Caneswear in Davie off of University Drive, just south of 595. If you can't get to the location, go to caneswear.com and place your order there. And like I said, they were telling me that they just spent a boatload of money buying a bunch of cool stuff for Inter Miami. The store is going to be packed with Inter Miami gear. And so that is the place to go to buy your Inter Miami stuff. I did poke and ask a little bit about if they've seen much of the stuff. If they got, if they're ordering the jersey, did they get to see the jersey? Because that's something we're going to talk about tonight, I think. And the answer was no, they have not. They did not really get a chance to look at it before they place the order. They're just placing a blind order, if you will. So go to Caneswear. And thank you to Caneswear for sponsoring us. You want to help us? Help Caneswear. Go support a local business. Going to the stadium and buying your gear, it's fun. You get caught up in the moment. Sometimes it's just a purchase you make on the spur of the moment, right? You're excited for the game, you go and you make the purchase. That's great. But you're going to pay more. Caneswear, it's cheaper. So, and I know just for a fact that I have this jacket that I wear, and it was cheaper at Caneswear. It's like by $10, but still, hey, $10, I can use it. So that's always good. And how about the cold weather, everybody? I know some of you guys are watching from out of state, out of the country even. I did see that we've got some listeners in Turkey, of all places. So thank you for watching over there, wherever you are in Turkey. But some of you guys, I know Eric Thomas, for example, is up in the New Jersey. So to hear us, Florida people whining and moaning about it being cold, well, it's cold down here, guys. It's 53 now, but it was in the 30s or something? I don't know. I woke up this morning, it was in the low 40s. Good thing, I got a couple of Inter Miami things I can wear with long sleeves. It gives me an opportunity to break them out. A little bit chilly down here, guys. I hope everybody is staying warm with where you are. even those of you that are, in that colder weather climate areas like New Jersey. All right, let's say hi to everybody in the chat room, and then we'll talk about the voicemail and anything else you guys want to talk about. There's not a lot of folks here in the chat. What's going on? If you're in the chat, say hello. We're going to be active here with you guys. Let's say hello to Esteban Dido singing the Canadian national anthem. Esteban, what's going on there? Chris Arjun, everybody's favorite photographer, out shooting the game at all levels. I saw some pics up there for lower level soccer. Good job there. One world, one goal, as always. And I think she might have left a voicemail. There is a voicemail on that we do have on deck, and it might be hers. B King is here. How you doing, B King? Jose Velasquez. We will get to DeAndre Yedlin in just a minute. Giovanni Rodriguez, welcome. I just have to say that it was fun being with Southern Legion again. All right. Yes, we are going to talk about the Wednesday night game where the fans were there. Choopy is here. Howdy, fam. Endo, welcome, Endo. Our friend up in New Jersey, Eric Thomas. Endo wants to hop on as a co-host. Kata is here, like usual. Ian Frey, talking about Ian Frey. Yeah, let's talk about Ian Frey a little bit. Judge Dredd, the Law, is here as well. Welcome, Judge Dredd. And Bruno Vieira is here. Hello, Bruno. All right, well, if anybody else pops up in the chat, say hello, and we'll mention you as well. Kata's asking if they're Galatasaray. I can't say the stupid name. But I don't know if he's a fan of that club or not. But I did get a comment from some fans in Turkey, so that's cool. That's one of the things that's neat about being on YouTube is that people are watching us from all around the world. And that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to think about. But it's nothing without you guys. All right, let's get the phone number up here. Oops, wrong thing. You know what? I don't have it lit, on here because I usually am on this page when I'm doing that. Or maybe we're on... It's different when I'm doing it without Ed, guys. It just is. There is the phone number. So let's drag that phone number also into the host deck. There we go. All right. We're back. 786-474-4435. I could use your help, folks. Let's get into some good conversation about Inter Miami, about the U.S. national team, about Book of Boba. It's been every week we've been talking about that. So I think we have to talk a little bit of Book of Boba a little bit later. I think it's something we need to do. All right, so just to get back to some of these comments here, we're going to bounce around tonight, I think. But Giovanni was talking about just happy to be with Southern Legion again. So last time we were on here, I was debating whether or not I was going to go to the Wednesday night game. Weird to think that it's even a question because I go to all the games, but it was. I think it's because you pay a bunch of money for season tickets. So once you make that, commitment to buy season tickets, I'm a little less forthcoming with extra money, right? So, but they were only $10. I went on the website being a season ticket member, East Side tickets. They were only $10. And I was able to sit in the same section I normally sit in, but just about 15, 20 rows further down, which was interesting because, so I was on row 19 of section 115. Great spot to watch a game. However, there is the overhang. And row 19, you still get a little bit wet. A little bit. You're just getting a little bit of sprinkle on you. And it was raining pretty strong there on Wednesday. So thank goodness for that cover. Southern Legion, Siege, Vice City, you guys were getting soaking wet, but you were there and you stuck through it. So great job by you guys. But it was one of those things I wasn't sure if I was going to go. Of course, once we finished the show, I think I bought the tickets right away. I just like, what am I doing? Who am I kidding? I want to see the game. I was so excited come Wednesday to see them. It feels like it's been forever since seeing Inter Miami, since being at Lockhart. So it was great going back into the stadium, seeing, and I'll tell you, the Universario fans, they showed up strong. I think there was a bigger supporters club for Universario than for Inter Miami. Sad to say. But I get it. These are fans that never get to see their team play in the United States. I mean, how often does that team come to the United States? I can't recall it really happening. I've never heard of it, never paid attention to it, I guess. But, these are fans that came from all across this country, from what I understand. People coming from all the way up from the Northeast, some maybe even from the West, coming to see their team. So I get it. And preseason in United States is kind of gone, frowned upon. Like, whatever. It doesn't mean anything. So it wasn't as big of a crowd for the Inter Miami fans. But one of the things that was really cool, and I know I'm rambling a lot and not answering your questions and talking to you guys, but that is just, it's kind of my MO. That's what I do. But I will get to you guys. I just saw Anthony. Is Ed too cold to do the show? Ed is hibernating. Ed is like, an old, bear. An old bear that's just got to go and hibernate when he gets a little chilly. So that took me off. Yes, thank you, Judge Dredd. Thank you for trying to spell it out for me phonetically. Galatasaray. Galatasaray. Yes, but it's hard. It's hard to say. Not Turkish. If I lived in Turkey, it might be easy to say. I don't, so I don't have to really worry about it. Oh, here. Esteban also trying to help a brother out. Galatasaray. I'm not getting any better, though. Not getting any better. Anyways, back to Wednesday night. It was. I saw some fans right next to me in section. I was in 115, so they were, I guess, 116. They were awesome. They were these fans that they made these homemade shirts. I don't know if you guys saw them, whoever was at the game. But they had half of the shirt as Universario and the other half as Inter Miami. It was awesome. And it was so funny because you had a guy walking around with a camera. He put the camera on me and my wife's face and filmed us. And I'm sitting there just looking dead face at the camera. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do. Are we supposed to look away from the camera, pretend like we're watching the game? Were we supposed to cheer at the camera? I don't know what we're supposed to do. I just gave him a dumb look. But the guys from that had the split shirts, they were dancing around a little bit, showing off their shirt. They wanted to be on camera. So they were. But that was awesome. They made homemade shirts that were really well done. Half Inter Miami, half Universario. It was pretty cool. I love those guys. They were really into it. And that was a game where, we saw this youth movement that we're talking about. This Ian Frey, my boy from Coconut Creek. That's my boy right there. It's, here I am from Coconut Creek, and he's one of our local boys. So he looks comfortable out there, scoring that goal, just walking in there, basically. Looks comfortable. I heard, so they won 4-0 against Universario, but they lost against DC United. And from what I understand, though, Ian Frey still looked composed. He looked good in that game as well. So the youth it looks promising. Of course, my question after the game, and you guys may be able to help me out with this, is how good is Universario? Because, you're judging. We didn't look great throughout the whole game. Some of the game, Universario looked better, but we scored, right? At the end of the day. And the second half, I'd say Inter Miami, or really Fort Lauderdale CF, looked better. Because that was a Fort Lauderdale squad out there. But how good is Universario? And I asked that on Twitter. What people wrote back was basically saying it's a second-place team in their league, I think is what it was said. Now, I don't know how good their league is. I don't know anything about Peruvian soccer. But they did overall. They killed them. They looked good. So how are they going to do against? We can't get too excited. These young guys, they got speed, but they looked good. The second half, I will say this, and then we're going to get to your comments. The second half was definitely better than the first, and I think it's because of this. That was predominantly a Fort Lauderdale squad. And those guys have played together. Specifically, Acosta and Azcuna looked great together. And that's because they've played with each other. They're comfortable with each other. And I think Acosta is a guy that I've been cheering for. He was the first Miami player that was signed to the club. Then he got a leg injury or something, out for a season, had to rehabilitate and bring himself back up with Fort Lauderdale. He's done that. He's now getting an opportunity with the first team, and I think he looked good. Azcona, though, let me tell you this. Azcona, number 28, I think he was. My wife couldn't stop talking about this kid. All she's doing is talking about number 28. And I think part of it was twofold. She thought he was cute because he's little. He's this little guy running around on the field, looking good, right? Playing well. But he's just cute little guy. He's like our little Grogu out there. And she thought it was funny. It was good. But he was actually really, really good, too, in that game. So, see how well he does. Funny thing, too, is that I was sitting next to a mother who was, her son is in the academy, and he's a 17-year-old kid, plays left mid. And he was on the bench, but didn't get any playing time. He's still an academy player. He's not a Fort Lauderdale player yet. But it was kind of funny because Romeo Beckham played as well, played in that left mid spot. Right? Left? I think it was. And mom was talking a little bit of trash about Romeo because her son plays in the same position. And she obviously thinks her son is better. Of course. Natural. It was just kind of funny sitting there talking. Now, one thing she did say is that the rumors about, Azcona kind of being in the doghouse last year, she said it was true. I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt. She was saying that he missed a bunch of meetings. So, how did you guys feel about the team on Wednesday night? Let's talk about it in the chat room. I'm sure you guys may have already talked about it. Let's get into this chat. Giovanni Rodriguez saying the game would have been even better if there were trumpet players. Who impressed you that night? So I think I kind of covered it a little bit because obviously you guys already, commented on some of these things a little while ago. But Ian Frey, of course, looked good. Mata didn't do a whole lot, didn't look bad, didn't look great, didn't do a whole lot. Lassiter, he got, he got a good shot at goal, blew it, kind of messed it up. So not much there, but maybe I heard some good things about him on the DC United game, that he did better in the DC United game. Endo was soaked that night, so that he was obviously sitting there with the supporters. Richard Greenberg from Toronto. Hi, everybody from freezing Canada. Richard, I bet you're happy tonight after beating the United States 2-0. Endo says, La U fans showed out more than us. Such a shame. I think it's because of what I said, just that, they don't get to see their fans, their team play all that much. Kata's asking, does Romeo Beckham really have a shot at first team? I think it's too soon. He just started playing pro a few months ago. I'd say not this year. I don't think he showed enough in the game. And, he got a fair shot in the second half, played a good amount of minutes. He made, I think, one good cross that I really caught my attention. Other than that, nothing really special. So I would say he's still a Fort Lauderdale player. I think you're looking to see Harvey move up to the first team. And actually, it was kind of talked about. Phil, old daddy there, said a little bit about that at the press conference. Basically, he wouldn't commit to whether or not he's going to play with the first team. He's just said that they're working on his green card. So what that says is right off the bat, they're interested in him being on the first team, but not so interested that they would give up an international spot for old Harvey Neville. So I think as soon as he can get that green card settled, I think you're going to see Harvey playing with the first team. He played a lot of minutes in that game and looked pretty good. Kata feels like Azcona never beat his man, and that was his only gripe. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't perfect for anybody, but I thought he looked good, looked promising. All right, what else are we saying? Gerardo is saying, are you looking forward to seeing any of the new signings who didn't play that day? Of course. Yeah, we didn't get to see several players. We didn't see, Edison Rodriguez. We didn't see our Ecuadorian player to make Ed happy. Didn't see our Jamaican, defender because he's with the national team. So yeah, quite a few players that didn't play. Some due to injury, some due to national team talk conversations, are playing with their national teams. So yeah, there were several players that would definitely play on the first team that we haven't gotten to see. So they're some of them are still with their national teams right now. But yes, we're definitely excited to see them play. I was a little sad that we didn't see them all play. I was really looking forward to that. But keep in mind, they will have the open scrimmage. I don't have it pulled up right now, but I think it was February 5th, I think is the open scrimmage. So Chris Arjun is saying Mabika played well in both games. He looked very impressive against DC yesterday. Looked comfortable and very commanding in the aerial battles. I think Mabika is a starter. He definitely is looking good. So I think he's starting. I agreed. Let's pull up something here. Roster. I want to see some roster information. Who do we have here in the roster that just trying to remember some names, because when I do the show, especially when I'm doing it by myself, I draw a blank on some of the names. So Jairo Quinteros did not play. I want to see him to play. I mean, he's with his national team, I believe. Emerson Rodriguez. So Emerson Rodriguez got a slight injury. Phil Neville mentioned that he is so fast. Makes you think that he might be kind of a good replacement for Morgan. So I'm excited to definitely see him play along with all the other players. I'm interested to see also how much Higuain drops back to play that number 10, because he did do that a little bit in the game. Darn it! I'm clicking things as I'm talking, trying to find stuff. He made a real nice pass to Lassiter, and that's the one that Lassiter kind of flubbed on. I'm interested in seeing our Ecuadorian player. I'm drawing a blank on his name right this second. Guys will tell me in the chat. Cavana, whatever his name was, I forgot. Need a little coffee there, guys. Need a little coffee. Yep, Gregory, Chris Arjun updating some of the other injuries. Gregory, Gibbs, and Marksman are also injured. Yes, they are. Marsman had a surgery in the offseason I think it was on his back. Gibbs definitely had a surgery on his back. Not sure what Gregory's issue is. Campagna, that's it. Kata, thank you. I knew it was something like that. I just couldn't remember the name exactly. Kata believes that Lassiter looks good. Lassiter shows speed, but and this was the thing with him when he was in Houston, I think, is they talked about the fact that he gets in good places, but his finishing was off. So let's hope he can get fit. E pluribus bigly, what a name. Kieran Gibbs is an important piece of this team, experienced quality leader next to the young boys, much needed. He's just got to get healthy. He's out there running with the team. Off to the side. He's running around off to the side. Bruno Vieira is asking, do you think we're still yet to sign someone really exciting this year? So there was a question earlier about DeAndre Yedlin. So I don't know if you're excited about DeAndre Yedlin, but I do have confirmation that it's a done deal. I mean, I think we all know that, right? I'm not breaking any news, but I do know from some insider that it's a done deal. if you read the ESPN article, you knew it was a done deal. So it's not like I know anything that you guys don't. And we'll talk about that pink shirt in just a minute. So DeAndre Yedlin's coming. The interesting, there was talk that we're supposed to get a number 10 too, right? That Viega guy, Rafael Viega, and Thomas Rongen on a broadcast a couple of weeks ago, which was the open practice, first day of spring training, or it's not spring training, but it's first day of training, winter training. He did mention that they were going to announce that week a number 10, and also DeAndre Yedlin. He didn't say Yedlin, but he said a back, right back. And neither of which have been announced, but we know Yedlin's happening. We think that Viega may happen. Don't know for certain, but we also do know for a fact that Matt Tuidi is not going to be with the team, so they're going to use that DP. Now, the question is, do they use it for someone like Viega right away? Are they able to get that deal done in time for the season? Are we doing it a month into the season, or are they holding on to it and waiting for the summer to wait for somebody to free up? Not exactly sure. Exactly. It's just I'm reading the same rumors you are as far as that goes. So that's about it as far as the signings, though. I think that's about it. You can expect the number 10 who won't wear number 10 because Gonzalo's wearing number 10. And we can expect DeAndre Yedlin. And I think Yedlin's huge. I think Yedlin's going to really help the team. He'll push up a lot. I remember those days with him in Seattle. He looked great in Seattle. Gerardo's asking, do you think Higuain will be able to play number 10? Lots of running back and forth. I don't really see it. See, I do. I think he can sit in that number 10. He can let Gregory and Mata do all the running, and he could sit just on top of them. You can let them do all the running, and he just he can run enough. He's not, he's not Valderrama, right? He's not walking the pitch. He can run. Right, he's just not sprinting. He's not beating attackers. So I wouldn't be too concerned. I think, and some people may disagree, but I think he's a better number 10 right now than he is a number 9. So he could be a false 9, right? So there's that. He's got the young guys to go up and let Robinson, let Lasser, let Campagna do all that running for him. So I think you might see a more rejuvenated Higuain at number 10. All right. Let's jump over. Okay, let's do this. Let's listen to this voicemail, and then we'll go from there.
Hey, Peter and Uncle Ed and all the great fans. It's Italia, One World, One Goal. Whoo, big sports happening all week. And yes, we played the kids, and the kids were all right. Beckham's son got to get on the field, which was nice for him. And Coach Neville's son scored a banger, which was actually supposed to be a cross, but it looked great, so we'll take it. And also, Terry Allen's son, who was one of our listeners, Noah Allen, who's on our Fort Lauderdale team, got called to play on the USA U20 team, and they tied 0-0 over against the Red Bulls in Bradenton. So our Fort Lauderdale kids, I always told you they looked good. I always told you that Fort Lauderdale team looked more energetic and more like a South Florida team than the first year Inter Miami team. So now we're starting to see the success, which is awesome. And my Elio Castroneves, my favorite race car driver, he won the Rolex 24-hour race in Daytona, and his team is sponsored for AutoNation, which is our Drive Pink, we still call it Lockhart sponsor. So what a great day for sports. And the stadium vote, oh my gosh, finally, everybody fingers crossed, toes crossed. And it would be February 23rd, I think, at 10 a.m. So let's go. Vamos Miami. Love you guys. Love the show. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much. One world, one goal. Yes, the Fort Lauderdale players do look good. And yeah, let's talk about that vote in just a minute. Some of the conversations. Esteban is asking, who's that to my left? Is that your twin brother? This guy right here. This guy? Where is he? Right there. That's Breck Shea. Breck Shea. My wild twin brother. Tracker's asking, is Yedlin much better than what Lewis Morgan offers? I mean, Yedlin's going to do better on defense than Morgan. Not going to offer the speed. You know, he's a little older than but he's smarter. And at the end of the day, we're not looking at is he better than Morgan's gone. You know, they dealing him away was something they had to do because of the sanctions. So it is what it is. Kata's asking if Caneswear will discount. Will the Caneswear discount count on the new paint kits? I'll get confirmation on that soon when the kits come out. I'll find out if we can get a discount. There are no current discounts right now. So the code that we offer, you know, from time to time, it works when we tell you it works, right? So sometimes the code didn't work because everything was already marked down 60% at times. You know, they had some really good deals. But when the pink jersey comes out, I think we could probably get a discount, but we'll see. We shall see. No promises, but I'll talk to him. Tracker feels like there's just too much hope in Yedlin, and he's just not that great with the U.S. men's national team. I think he's a big deal. I think he's big for the team. I don't think he's washed up. I think he's still got some stuff in him. I'm not trying to say he's an improvement over Morgan or anything like that, but you know, I think he's going to sit further back than Morgan wanted to. You know, Morgan would play. I mean, Yedlin loves to go forward as well, like Morgan, but I think Yedlin's probably just a little bit better defensively. Sorry, guys, got to drink my coffee. All right, let's two things. Let's go in here. Oh, one thing I just wanted to mention, separate topic completely, but congratulations to Clint Dempsey. Clint Dempsey made it to the Hall of Fame. No shocker there. Clint Dempsey is in the Hall of Fame alongside Hope Solo. This one's maybe a little more surprising. I mean, she's a solid player, but she's had some trouble in her life. So sometimes troubled people aren't included in Hall of Fames. But Hope Solo's there, and then who else? We also have Shannon Box. They all made it to the Hall of Fame. So I just thought it was interesting to mention Clint Dempsey, especially after we just watched. I'm sure most of you just watched the U.S. men's national team, and I was watching on Paramount Plus where Clint Dempsey had plenty to say about the game. And the Tracker, now that's a Miami caliber signing. It would have been back in the day. It would have been if he was still playing, for sure. All right. Let's go to let's come here and let's talk about this pink jersey. What do you guys think about this jersey? So this is the leaked jersey from Footy Headlines. The team has come out and said this is not the jersey. However, Footy Headlines has like a, 95% accuracy rating. They're usually right. I've seen a lot of hate on this shirt, and what I would say to that is, you guys just can't please anybody. No, people are just never happy. Now, I could critique it. There's elements that I'd like to be better, but from what I understand, from everything I'm reading, this is the replica. So the replica is obviously a slimmed down version. It's because the team came out and said in a little video thing they did pre-game. I think it was their pre-game show before the Universario thing. I saw a little clip of it where the marketing guy said he doesn't see the little details. So that's the difference. It's the same shirt. This is the shirt, minus the little imprint details, like the sublimation details. Like, for example, first year shirt, we had the herons all over it. Second year shirt, we had the palm trees all over it. So those little details, that's what you're getting. I don't know what those little details are. I'm hoping they're the heartbeat that we talked about last week. I think that would be cool. I think that would make sense. But this is the shirt. A lot of people are not feeling the collar. I do feel the collar. I like the collar. I just wish the collar was black. Imagine this shirt being pink with a black collar and then the black, like right here on the end of the bottom of the sleeves, just a little black ring right there to cap the sleeve. That would look smart. That would look really good. And then you got the black logo for XBTO. It would look really, really sharp. Yeah, and that's what One Girl, One Goal says. The Brit marketing guy said that is not it. The leak is not it. No, but what he did say is he doesn't see the little details. That's what he said, and it's the little details. I am pretty confident that this is the replica. Of course, nobody really knows until about 2 weeks. From what I understand, we'll see it released in like the second week of February. So, and it goes back and forth. Like, some people want something that's flashier. Some people want simplicity. And what I get from this ownership group, and I don't know if it's Jorge, I don't know if it's David's vision, but they like simplicity. It's clear that they like simplicity. And keep in mind, Adidas has a lot to say about these shirts. So there's only so much they could do because of Adidas. Now, of course, we do know that we've seen other kits in the league that there are options, right? You could do a little bit more. There's other Adidas shirts out there that people have showed that are pink. Kata agrees that it would look really clean with a black collar. The funny thing is, like, around the team, you see a lot of people that don't like it. You see some people that do like it, and some people like the fact that it's clean. But the funniest thing is when I saw like not Miami fans, just league fans commenting. And because, on some MLS post, not from MLS, but some MLS tweeter. And the comments around the league are basically like, this is a shirt you wear to the country club. It's a shirt you wear to go golfing. Does it come with the khaki pants? Don't worry, I've got khaki pants that will go with it. Making fun of us that we're like the this kind of yuppie kind of look. But that's Miami, right? It makes sense. It totally makes sense. And Kata's right. They do hate Miami on Twitter. Yes. But we knew that was going to happen. But I do know that I had heard from, that Jorge loves this shirt. He had said it's beautiful. So that tells me, again, they like simplicity. If he feels like this or a variation of this, right? Just like One Goal said, this is not the exact shirt. This, I think, is a replica. But if he feels like this is beautiful, he likes simplicity. And no matter, I was about to say no complaining is going to change anything, but I don't agree. If you don't like it, let your voice be heard. Tell them. So that next year, maybe you see something even different. But everybody was bitching and moaning that they wanted a pink shirt. Well, we got a pink shirt. Well, okay, it's not the pink shirt they wanted. I think a lot of people last year said things like, and I know I said this, all you have to do is take the training jersey and slap XBTO on it, and then you've got the shirt. That's all you need. Well, they basically did that and threw a collar on there. And last year, people would have been happy with just taking the training shirt. This year, they're not. I don't know. You can't make everybody happy. Oh, E Pluribus makes a good point. Simplicity sells well. And that may be a big part of that. They want to be a global brand. They want this to be sold around the world. So there you go. So I expect to see, Kata's asking, okay, so I think I do know the answer to this. Do you think shorts are going to be pink, black, white? I hope black. I want them to be black with pink socks, with black Adidas kind of stripes on them. That's what I want, but I'm like really confident it's going to be pink shorts. You're going to get all one color. Now, if they want to get creative, they've got the black shorts for the La Palma uniform. They could just mix and match if they want on a random day. But the official uniform will be all pink. That I'm pretty confident on from people I've spoken to. One World, One Gold says, I like the polo look, but I'm from New England and born in Ohio. We're preppy up there. I like the preppy look too. You know, even back in my long hair days, when I had my long hair, I had it down to my waist practically. I looked like a rocker up here, dressed like a preppy guy down there. It was kind of that was kind of my thing. So I like the preppy look. I can't afford to go to the clubhouse, but I like to look like I can. All right. So another thing that was mentioned a little bit ago, let's bring that up. That's this. So this is the letter from the city of Miami. So we are, and it may be a little hard to read. I'm not sure if I could blow it up. Let me see. That February 23rd is going to be a vote on Miami Freedom Park. So this is the invitation letter to the other commissioners to come and vote on the stadium. So we're really close to getting it done. Everybody's asking, where's the stadium? How long is it going to, when is it going to happen? We should hopefully see a vote, unless something changes, February 23rd. The team I know is confident that they can get at least 4 out of the 5 votes. So, you know, they're pretty confident that they can get this deal done. And then, you know, we're talking 2 to 3 years to build the stadium. They still have to clean the land, which is polluted, and that'll take a year, right? Esteban's telling me to let my hair grow like my twin brother Breck Shea in order to look like a rock and roll guy. Yeah, my wife doesn't like that look, so I cannot do that. Kata is hoping that the stadium will be done by 2026. It might be 4 years. You know, at the end of the day, look, I think they could take as long as they want. I've seen so many people commenting that it's too far of a drive from Miami, and they're tired of doing it. Some people say they won't buy season tickets because it's too far. I'm with Anthony. I like where the stadium is now. I agree. I like where the stadium is now. So I'm torn, right? I know it makes better business sense for them to be in Miami, but I'm a North Broward guy. I'd rather it stay in Fort Lauderdale. But I get it. It is not going to stop me from having season tickets when they move it to Miami. I've known from day one that this team was going to be in Miami, so it's no big shock, right? But I do have some friends that are up here in this area that I live in that have stated they will not renew their season tickets when it goes to Miami. So you've got people in Miami that say, I won't get my season tickets because it's too far in Broward and I can't drive that far. Or I can't commit to every game. And then you've got guys up here that say, I won't drive down there on a regular basis. Now, this friend of mine is not saying he won't go to games. He's not saying that. He's just saying he can't commit to going every week when it's an hour drive south. And that is going to be an issue, right? So they have so many fans right now that are Broward-based fans. Will those Broward-based fans drive to Miami? It's always been one of my pet peeves when I hear people that are not willing to make that drive, because I'm willing to drive. I don't have a problem. Do I have a preference? Of course I want it in my neighborhood. Of course I've got a preference. But it won't stop me from driving down to Miami. And at the end of the day, being in Miami is a better business deal for them. You know, they're going to get better sponsors probably, I'm hoping at least. You know, it's a money-making venture being there, you know, because they're going to have not just a stadium, but they're going to have hotels, a business center. They're going to have a whole big project that the team can make money. And at the end of the day, it's a business. They've got to be able to make their money. So I'm all in. Bruno says, I'm with you, Peter. I don't know at what part you're with me, if you're drive to Miami or not. But let's carpool if we have to, right? Kata says, so many people go to Heat games from West Palm Beach, Broward area, so I'll still go. Love the current stadium because it's 15 minutes away. Exactly. Yeah, it is a weird thing where people say they won't drive, yet they will drive to a Heat game. You're right. Or they will drive to a Dolphins game. Is it because they're a bigger deal? Dolphins are a bigger deal than the Heat, than Inter Miami. Yes, we all know that. They've been here for a long time. NFL is king in the United States. We get it. But is it, I mean, you don't hear people from West Palm Beach bitching and moaning. What they do is they make a full day out of it. They get to the stadium early. They tailgate for hours on end. They make a full day out of it. Because if you're going to make the drive, make it count. So that's all you need to do. If you're from Broward, West Palm area, and you want to go down to Miami, just make a day out of it. And if you're currently listening to us from Miami for these next few years while we're still up here in Broward, do the same thing. Make a day out of it. Get to the stadium early. Go hang out with the supporters clubs. They're usually there super early. Go hang out with them, share a beer. Even if you're not a member, they will welcome you. I guarantee it. They will welcome you. And just pass you a beer. You don't even have to bring anything. I mean, they may not want me to tell you that, but that's fact. You don't have to bring anything. They will welcome you, and they will probably just hand you a beer or a shot. I mean, I've been over to the Siege, and they're doing shots after shots after shots. So doing it with the away fans too. Yes, Mrs. Peter rules on hairstyles, at least for that hairstyle. She's not a fan. All right, what else you guys saying? One World, One Goal says, the Fusion drew 5,000 more fans at two games they only played at the beloved Old Orange Bowl. I don't know if it's a good comparison. Yeah, but it's, they played only 2 games, so it was kind of an event. I was at those games. I think the 2 games were what? The Metro Stars and the Columbus Crew, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think those were the 2 games. I was there as well. And I think Miami will support the team. I think Miami will support the team. But I've always felt that in order for this club to be successful long term, South Florida needs to support them. They need to be a Dade and Broward team. And I think that's where it was super smart of them to put the training facility in Broward, and then potentially, eventually, the first team plays their weekend games in Miami. It makes sense. That way, the team. Look, the players are living in Fort Lauderdale in that case because they're going to work Monday through Friday, basically in Fort Lauderdale, and driving only to Miami on the weekend. So most of them would live close to where. Don't you want to live close to where you work? I mean, most people do. So I'm not overly concerned that Miami won't show up. I just think, look, Lockhart here hasn't been filled every game either. We need more Miami fans driving north. We need both. But yeah, I do hope, I hope it becomes a situation where there's a waiting list. They will, Anthony is talking about the Heat. You could take the Bright line. That does help. I would think they will work out some sort of deals with public transportation. They talked a lot about public transportation before the launch. They talked about not even building much as far as parking lots. I would hope their experience in Fort Lauderdale has shown them one thing. People want to drive. People are not all that interested in taking public transportation. You got your few that will do it, but the majority of people want to drive. And I think they underestimated that before their first game kickoff. Now they've seen how many people show up. They're supposed to build a park right next to Lockhart, Drive Pink. And they're holding off on doing that. Actually, the commissioner, Moriatis, Kathy or something, Moriatis is her name. She's not happy that the park has not been built yet. And they're using that park for parking right now. They can't build on it until they find some solution for parking. So in other words, they probably can't build on it until the Miami Stadium is done, right? Because they need that parking lot until the Miami Stadium is complete. So she's not happy because she feels like a park was promised to her district and it's not being delivered. Inter Miami has turned around and said, well, we want to renegotiate because we might want to take some of that land and turn it into a facility for women's professional soccer and have an Inter Miami women's team. I haven't heard much more on that other than they did pose that as a possibility. I haven't heard any more information on that. Kata's saying, do you think we see Grogu on Wednesday? Are we talking about Azkona? Is that Azkona Grogu? I think I know what you're talking about. Let's finish the show with a little boba talk. All right. And then we'll get back to some of your other questions. So I was expecting my boy, Uncle Ned, to talk to me about some boba because he and I will chat from time to time about some Boba Fett. And every time I say boba around this house, my wife and daughter think I'm talking about those little balls that you put in your tea. Those boba things. Boba Fett. Here's my thing. Last episode, best episode of Boba Fett. There will be spoilers, folks. The best episode of Boba Fett. And that's sad. You know why it's sad? Because Boba Fett was not in the episode. It's his show. He wasn't in it. And it was the best episode. Because the Mandalorian is who we think the Boba should be. Mandalorian is sitting there chopping people's heads off, putting them in a bag. Meanwhile, Boba Fett's getting his butt kicked on the streets in the first episode. Boba Fett's all crying and stuff. He's a new man. He's been softened up by the Sand People. We want Boba Fett to be a badass like the Mandalorian is. And so, no, I don't think, as far as Grogu, I don't think he'll show up in the next episode. I think my thought is there's only 2 more episodes of Boba Fett this season. So they can't spend any more time on Mandalorian. So I think the next episode, Wednesday's episode, I think will be a normal Boba Fett episode where you see the Mandalorian now there to help Boba Fett. Now, Mandalorian did say, I have to go see Grogu before. I think they could make that kind of like a time jump type of situation. And season 3 of The Mandalorian is his visit to Grogu. And the escapades that happen. Something like that could happen. Or it's just something he mentions. Yeah, I went to see my little green buddy. You know, all good. But it would be kind of weird because he's leaving Tatooine to go see Grogu and then coming back to Tatooine to help Boba Fett. But there's only 2 episodes left of Boba Fett. Boba Fett's got to toughen up in those 2 episodes. Even the actor that plays Boba Fett says Boba talks too much. The actor even agrees. And it's you know, I wouldn't have a problem if it was reversed. If they had introduced the Mandalorian as this kinder, gentler, it's fine. It's a brand new character. Whatever. I'm okay with that. But we all have this vision of Boba Fett being this badass. And he's just not anymore. He's old, fat, and lazy. And he wants to cry over everything now. I agree, Anthony. I wish they kept Boba a bounty hunter, not this wannabe crime lord who rules with respect. That's the problem, rules with respect. I don't have a problem with him being a crime lord. You want to be a crime lord? Be a badass crime lord. People cross you, you cut them. You know? He's just wants to do things with respect. And that's just the wrong character for that. Yeah, they're showing that he's got growth. I don't care about his growth. I want him to be, cool. Just not cool right now. All right. Last couple minutes. Kata's saying that Boba Fett was filmed next to the LA Galaxy Stadium. Really cool. I didn't know that. So Gerardo is bringing it back to Inter Miami and asking if we think Neville is the right coach for a young, inexperienced team like this. He underperformed greatly last year. So, I don't know. I mean, time will tell. I think he has no excuses this year. You can use the sanctions as an excuse. Yes, but he had input on this team. So this is his year, make or break. Last year wasn't his team. A bunch of overpaid players that had no drive. So was he my first choice for a coach? Probably not. But he's here, and I think I like Neville. And I don't know if I like him as a coach or I just like him as personality. I'm not sure. Sometimes you can't separate the two. But we'll see. I think if he tanks the first half of the season, he should be cut. Let's not waste any time. Give him at least half the season. Esteban says, no talk about USA or Canada. I know. I meant to. Sorry. I meant to. USA sucks. Canada is best. All right, move on. No, I mean, look, the USA, they beat El Salvador, but not convincingly, 1-0. Canada's no joke. Canada's actually good. So they had some chances. I'd like to see Ricardo Pepi start the game. Maybe that's something that should happen. I know he hasn't been playing well during his time in Germany, so that's probably why he's sitting on the bench. But but they underperformed. Why does the USA always got to make it so difficult for themselves? Now, we usually make it to the World Cup. Obviously, didn't last time, but we usually will make it. But they make it hard for themselves every time. It was I missed the first half of the game. I forgot the game was happening, and then tuned in the second half. So it just didn't look good. What can I say? They did not look good, but they have a chance. They're playing again on Wednesday night, Honduras. So they've got to win that game and I think they're playing in Minnesota. So it's going to be nice and cold. The Honduran players are not going to be used to it. Although, not a lot of rest for the U.S. national team. Back to Star Wars. Endor show is promising. It's Andor. It's not Endor. It's not the planet. It's Andor, as in the guy from Rogue One. And it looks cool. But here's my thing. I love Star Wars. Like my three favorite things: Star Wars, Disney, and soccer, right? In no particular order. But Star Wars, the biggest thing I have, the pet peeve I have with Star Wars is the fact that it jumps around timelines so much. I mean, we started in the middle of the story with A New Hope, and then we go back to the beginning of the story, and then we go back again to the sequels, and then we throw in some one-shot movies that are in between. And the books have done that forever, in between all the time. So much time jumping. What I do enjoy about The Mandalorian and also Boba Fett, and then also coming soon, Ahsoka, is that they're all in the same timeline. I like that. It's kind of creating its own little Mandalorian cinematic universe, right? So I like the fact that they can have crossovers, and what happens in one show can have effect on another show because they're all taking place about 5 years after Return of the Jedi. I like that. So Andor obviously is going to take place before A New Hope because we all know he died in Rogue One trying to get the Death Star plans. But it does look cool because what his character showed was that, and they talked about it in Rogue One, that the good guys have to do bad things sometimes in order to be good. And so he was that guy. He was at times a killer for the good guys. So doing bad things for the right reasons. I mean, if that's a thing. So it could be cool. Any predictions? Richard Greenberg is asking, any predictions if Inter Miami can make the playoffs this year? Wow, it's too soon. Too soon. Too young of a team to really know. It's like it's like season one all over again. Hopeful, yes. But where me and Ed are different, Ed is going to tell you, yes, they will make the playoffs. And I'll tell you, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So, not so sure. Anthony, why did they rename Slave 1 into Fire Spray? So lame. Because everybody's got to be politically correct nowadays. You cannot have the word slave in something. I mean, even though, you have slaves in computer terminology, you slave one computer to another computer and all that kind of thing. I don't know. Kalen Kyle was great, Kata says. So yeah, that was kind of cool in the game. On the Paramount Plus games, you have both Andres Cordera, who does a play-by-play for Inter Miami, and then also Kalen Kyle, who does the color for Inter Miami. All we were missing was Ray Hudson. So you've got 2 out of the 3 people that do call Inter Miami games for TV doing the Paramount Plus games, which is cool. Very cool. Mexico tied up, so that helps us, Peter. Oh, okay. Yeah, when I started the show, I was watching the Mexico game, and it was I think it was 0-0 when we started the show. All right, guys. Well, I think that about wraps it up. I think this was a lot of fun. The show went quick for me doing it all solo. You guys, oops, I'm just messing up here. I just want to throw this up real quick to remind you to go to Caneswear. But you guys made this show a lot of fun. As you all know, I can ramble, so it's not usually too hard for me to just talk. But you guys gave me lots of good, fun topics to talk about. So thanks so much. And yes, Kata, I think there has to be this. We have to, look. At the end of the day, a lot of soccer fans are just big nerds. So let's talk some nerd stuff. Let's do at least 10 minutes every week about some nerd stuff. I'm deep into Peacemaker as well. That show's wrong but good. We could talk a little Peacemaker too. So yes, there will be some more Boba talk. So anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And go to Caneswear. So thank you to Caneswear for being with us again this year. And that'll do it. I just got to look for the outro, guys. Thanks so much for watching. You guys are the best. Talk to you next week.